An exciting session in store for you surrounding student life and building community at UC San Diego. Today, you'll hear from staff members as well as current students who will share more about their programs on campus and answer questions about being a Triton and highlight why getting involved is so important to the college-going experience. Like I mentioned, an important part of the college experience is ensuring students are involved. Being engaged in student life activities supports our students with timely degree completion, learning experiences, professional development, and community engagement. There are so many opportunities to be involved, meet lifelong community of friends, and ultimately enrich your experience and pride at UC San Diego. There are 600 plus student organizations on campus. Organizations vary by interest, including academic related, extracurricular, college-based, sororities and fraternities, as well as organizations and resources specific to transfer student experience, such as the All Campus Transfer Association, known as ACTA. Related to the sports world and athletics, as of fall 2020, our athletic teams are competing in NCAA Division I in the Big West Conference, something we're very excited about on our campus. There are also opportunities to cheer on your fellow Tritons, as well as to take part in UC San Diego recreation through sports clubs and intramural sports. With so many ways to get involved comes many opportunities to build community and create lifelong friendships. In addition to student organizations, athletics, and recreation, UC San Diego offers additional programs, resources, and places of belonging where you can find a sense of community and connection. Some of those places include the campus community centers, which build affinity among a diverse population. The campus community centers are places of belonging, where self-awareness is learned, leaders are developed, and open dialogue and expression are encouraged. We will be taking a closer look at the colleges during our college session today at 5 o'clock, but the colleges help students thrive as they create an opportunity to make the university experience more personal and approachable through smaller communities and areas on campus. In addition, there are programs such as the International Students and Programs Office, ISPO for short, Triton Firsts, the Student Veterans Organization, the Student Veterans Resource Center, as well as the Triton Transfer Hub that provide resources, services, and a sense of community for our international, first generation, military connected, and transfer students. Finally, community can be built outside of UC San Diego, perhaps in another country or place of study through our study abroad program. There are so many opportunities to enrich the student experience, and we're excited to have representatives from some of these areas here today who will share more with you about their areas. With that, get your questions ready, because after brief introductions from our campus partners and students, we will continue with a very special Q&A panel session. With that, I'd like to invite our Center for Student Involvement on screen. Please take it away, Center for Student Involvement.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Timothy. My name is Kristen Berg, and I work in the Center for Student Involvement. I'm a student organizations advisor and program manager, and today I have a student leader, Jose, with me.
So hi everyone, my name is Jose. I just recently graduated from UC San Diego, but during my time there, I was involved in sorority fraternity life, as well as with student orgs and event planning. Specifically, I currently work as a student involvement leadership consultant with CSI, but also as well as I am a former peer ambassador as well.
Thanks, Jose. So our office, the Center for Student Involvement, or CSI for short, or as our acronym, our mission is to help students find a place of belonging and personal growth and become experienced citizens and leaders. CSI is a campus-wide office, which means our services, programs, and organizations are available for all students, for undergraduates, graduates, first years, transfers. We serve all members of the Triton community. And then our office also has 4 unique areas. So we have student organizations and events. Like Timothy said, we have over 500 student organizations in our office that you can get involved with. We also have an area called Communication and Leadership, which offers seminars and workshops to help advance your interpersonal communication and leadership skills. We also have sorority and fraternity life. We have sororities and fraternities that fall under 4 different councils. And then we also offer community service opportunities. And those can be one-time service opportunities, international and national service opportunities. So our office really offers a broad option of ways to get involved. And we hope that if you join the Triton community, that you'll find fun ways to get involved at UCSD in the Center for Student Involvement. Thanks, Timothy.
Thanks, Kristen and Jose. Very, very helpful. At this point, I'd like to welcome our Campus Community Centers partners onto the screen.
Thank you, Timothy. Hi, everyone. I'm Camila. I'll be presenting on behalf of the Campus Community Centers. I actually graduated from UCSD this year, and I was an intern at the Women's Center for about 2 years and was involved in a variety of programs with them. Today, I'll be talking about all of the Campus Community Centers. There are 8 of us, but we are all grounded in a shared belief that ending one oppression requires ending all oppressions. They're all listed on the next slide, so you know which ones they are. Together, we facilitate interactive learning, promote self-awareness, foster leadership development, encourage dialogue, and challenge traditional notions of diversity. Through these partnerships, we build and sustain a socially just campus climate. So if you join a community, you would obtain academic and social support, gain experience through internships and volunteer opportunities. Each campus community center has an internship and volunteer program. Some of them are kind of on pause because of all the virtual stuff, but they're really great. I was involved in one and it was really enriched my UCSD experience. You would also learn skills to help you make changes in your communities and connect with others at your new home away from home. So on the next slide, I have all of them listed out. We have EpiMela programs and services, which is Asian Pacific Islander, Middle Eastern, Desi American programs and services. The Black Resource Center, the Raza Resource Centro, the Intertribal Resource Center, the Cross Cultural Center, the Women's Center, which is the one I was involved in, the LGBT Resource Center, and PATHS program. So some of these do have physical spaces on campus, not all of them do, but they still have so many ways to get involved. Like I said, there is the internship program that usually hires in January, I think, for all of them, and then volunteer programs, and then each individual one also have very supportive programs. They're great. I would inquire you to explore all of them because there's just so much story on how these centers started and were created and the work they're doing now. And there's a lot of partnership among them. So I think someone dropped the link actually to everything. So thank you very much. I would click on that. That one has all the links to each individual one. Also check out the social medias. You really see what we're doing this year. Kind of up in the air in terms of whether programs are still going to be virtual or not, but everyone's working really hard to create really great programming at each of these centers. And yeah, thank you, Timothy.
Thanks, Camila. Thank you very much. I'd like to now introduce our partners from the International Students and Programs Office, ISPO.
Hello, everybody. My name is David Saide, and I'm an International Student Advisor with the International Students and Programs Office. And today I'm accompanied by Janet, which I'll let her introduce herself briefly.
Hi, my name is Janet Sid. I am a second-year PhD student in the music program, and I am the grad division intern at the International Students and Programs Office. It's been a very positive experience so far, my time at UCSD. And I'm originally from Canada. Thank you.
Thank you, Janet. So the International Students and Programs Office is focused on managing the immigration records of our international students, which are approximately 9,000 international students on campus, those that are on the F1 and the J1 student visas. But my favorite part of the work is actually the programs that we run to really be building community across campus, across colleges, across departments. We have programs in-house for our international students to be accustomed and acculturated to the campus, and also be building with other campus resource centers, such as the ones that are being introduced today on call. And we also do a lot of things across campus within the International House partnerships and also within global education. And you can learn a lot more through iprograms.ucsd.edu or through our website, istudents.ucsd.edu. And you can also please do follow our Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. We're doing a really good job on there. with a lot of different questions and ways to think about getting engaged before arriving and while arriving on campus.
Thank you very much, David and Janet. We really appreciate that. I'd like to now introduce our partner from Recreation.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mari Chosich, and I'm the Director of Recreation. So I'm going to try to sum up all we do in 3 minutes because it's a ton. And of course, go to our website for all the information to dig into. But our mission at Recreation is to engage students in the campus community to pursue lifelong well-being, growth, and success. So if you're a student, you pay student fees to use our facilities, so you don't have an additional charge if you just want to go work out, go swimming. We have a rock climbing wall, play tennis, anything like that. So we have a bunch of facilities around campus, so no matter where you live, you'll always find one that's going to be close to you. Recreation has a bunch of different unique program areas. So I like to say that Recreation is an umbrella that holds all these unique areas to kind of keep you healthy, physical, and well while you're studying on campus. Some of these include informal rec, which is just, shooting hoops with your friends or going swimming for the day. Fit Life, so we have a bunch of fitness and yoga classes. Intramural sports, these are social leagues. So if you just want to get a group of friends together and create like a soccer team, you'll play against your classmates on campus. Master Swimming is one of our swimming programs. Outback Adventures is guided tours. So we have day trips, which is just like snorkeling in La Jolla Cove or maybe hiking Cowles Mountain. But then we also have longer weekend trips where we can take you farther. Some of them go out to Mexico, horseback riding in Mexico, surfing in Mexico. Rec classes are instructional classes. So I like to say if you want to learn a new skill, for instance, we have aerial silks, dance, martial arts, archery, boxing, you name it, we really have a bunch of different classes. Surfing, definitely our most popular. Sports clubs are going to be a little bit above intramural. So if you want more of a competitive experience, it's not athletic competitive, NCAA competitive, but it's right in between the intramurals and athletics. So we have 30 sports clubs teams, and some of them require, tryouts. Some have, 3-day-a-week practice. Some have one. So it all depends. And if you go to the sports club site, each team has their own page. So you can ask them questions about like how much they travel, how much they compete, all that kind of good stuff. And then Mission Bay Aquatic Center is an affiliate center that we have with SDSU. And those are kind of all the sports that you can't really do on the ocean in La Jolla. Things like kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding, and there's a bunch of sailing classes there. Welcome Week events. So we have a ton of events that we host for Welcome Week. And if you decide to come to UC San Diego, definitely look on our site for those. Meet the Beach is our most popular one. This year, we're going to have 6,000 students out on the beach to try out a bunch of our water sports like surfing and kayaking. So it's a super fun event. And then we also have a new recreation app. If you kind of want to explore more, or when you get admitted, that will be the best way to see class schedules for fitness and yoga. And then we do have a new kind of program within the past couple of years, which is called the Rec Activity Pass. And this year it is free for students. Typically it's $25 a quarter, so we hope to keep it free. And because I know a lot of you are probably wondering, well, how much does it cost? Well, anything that's in that pass, which is basically 90% of our programs, are included for current students. So this would be all of our fitness and yoga classes, our one-day Outback trips, not the weekend ones, our instructional classes, so dance, surf, that kind of stuff, and then also just included as intramural sports. So we try to keep things either free or at very low cost for students. And, you have to know that in order to get great grades, you need to give yourself, a good workout, and we're here to provide that for you. So that is all. And thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Mari. Next, we'd like to invite our partner from Study Abroad.
Thank you, Timothy. Greetings, everyone. My name is Jay Meinert. I'm the Director of Outreach and Academic Engagement for Study Abroad at UC San Diego. Definitely excited to talk to you. When you come to campus and you get used to the campus and you kind of get acclimated to UC San Diego, you will find that one of the most popular activities that students want to do is study abroad. And study abroad essentially is an activity where you go to another country or another place outside of UCSD and you take courses, or you can do internships or research. A lot of different activities. We're in dozens and dozens of countries. A lot of our programs are in English. There are other programs where you can take some language and immerse yourself in another language. We have a lot of summer programs. And we have programs during the year, during the quarter, or, even if you wanted to go for a whole year. There's just so many options for you. Our job is to help you find that perfect program for you. And so, we'll start working with students. Our biggest goal is to make sure that when you work with us, that you stay on track for graduation. We have you connect with your advisors to vet any courses that you're going to be taking abroad, to make sure that those courses are going to be counted back here at UC San Diego, because we wouldn't want you to have to stay in college longer than you'd have to. So integrating your academics abroad back here is a big part of what we do. And another big part of what we do is helping students to really navigate the financial aid process. Study abroad, it depends on the program in terms of how much it might cost. We have programs all over the world. Some programs are kind of expensive. Others are even cheaper than staying here. It just depends on where you go and what you do and how long you do it for. And so it's working with this financial aid office, and we're lucky to have a financial aid officer embedded in our office to help students navigate how their financial aid would impact the study abroad experience. We work with scholarships, encouraging all of our students to apply for a range of competitive scholarships, national scholarships, as well as scholarships from UC San Diego, helping students navigate that process. And so, we're always excited to work with students. We have a great team of advisors. So if you come to our campus, please seek us out. We'd love to talk to students and kind of get you on your way. It's never too early to kind of start your planning for study abroad. Visit us at studyabroad.ucsd.edu. Like us on Facebook and Instagram. You have it at Study Abroad UCSD is our handle. And yeah, come and visit us when you get to campus, and we hope to see you, and we hope to see you get on a plane right after seeing you. So it's a pleasure to talk with you today, and I'm going to hand it back to Timothy. Thank you.
Jay, thank you very much. Very informational. We'd like to introduce our Triton Spirit partners on now.
Hi, everyone. My name is William Kessinger, and I am going into my third year. I'm a dance and poli-sci double major undergraduate student here at UCSD. I am also an out-of-state student, so I am from Colorado originally. And then I am also a co-president of Triton Tide, and Triton Tide is our official Spirit and Athletics Student Engagement Association. And my co-president is actually with me, but she will be back in a few moments. So Triton Tide does a lot of promotion for athletic events. And so you can stay connected with us by going to our website, which is up on the slide, or following us at UCSD Triton Tide on Instagram. That is the best way that you can stay connected, and you can find out about all of our athletic events that we are promoting. We do a lot of fun stuff throughout the year, such as we do this thing called Spirit Night, which is a competition between the colleges to support our men's basketball team. And we also do a lot of fan festivals before all of our different events and stuff like that. And it's just a really great way to just make sure that you're keeping involved with the school and just making sure that you're having that pride as a Triton. And yeah, it's a really great way to get involved. And I think Aaliyah is going to come and introduce herself here in a moment. But Triton Tide is so much bigger than a student section. Our main purpose is not just to drive attendance at athletic events, but it's also to just make sure that you're really getting involved with the UCSD community as a whole. And so we work with pep band, we work with cheer, and we work with our dance teams in order to really promote Triton Spirit in all of those ways.
Hi, I'm Aaliyah Ellis. I am a third year. My major is cognitive behavioral neuroscience with a minor in business, and I'm originally from Alabama. And my favorite memory of Triton Tide is meeting William. He's my coworker in 3 different ways, and we honestly only got that far from Triton Tide and just being in the organization together and coming together and having a love of sports.
Thank you, and I'm gonna hand it back to Timothy now.
Thank you, William and Elia and Jessica. Next, we'd like to invite our partners from the Triton Transfer Hub.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ariana, and I'm the Outreach and Operations Coordinator for the Triton Transfer Hub. And I'm joined here today with one of our Triton Transfer Hub peer coaches.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alo, and I am a senior in River College. I am also majoring in psychology with a minor in human development. And I am also a transfer student from Southwestern College.
Thank you so much, Alo. So some things that we do at the Triton Transfer Hub is offer transfer-specific social events, as well as professional and academic workshops. So you can think about resume writing, cover letter writing, and how to highlight transferable skills from your local community college or wherever you're coming from.
As a transfer peer coach, basically what we do is meet one-on-one with transfer students, and they will come with us with questions or any worries they have. And as peer coaches, we will advise them as best as we can to help them, enrich their experience as transfer students. And a lot of students enjoy talking to us because they are able to talk to someone who has walked in their shoes before. So we are guiding them from experience, which is really nice.
Yeah, so just some ways to get connected. You can check out our events and resources online. If you have any general questions, we will be happy to answer them. So our email is listed there as well. And then you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Triton Transfers. Thank you so much, and I will hand it back to Timothy.
Thanks, Anna and Alo. At this point, I want to thank our campus partners and students for sharing more about your programs and places of belonging on campus. It's really amazing how many opportunities there are to get involved and to find a sense of community at UC San Diego. And we appreciate your sharing specific information about your areas. I'd now like to transition to our Q&A panel, in which our campus partners and students will answer questions related to student life and finding community at UC San Diego. I would like to also invite our campus partners and students back on camera so we can kick off our panel. And as a reminder, please put your questions in the Q&A feature at the bottom, and we will address as many questions as we can within the allotted time that we have left together, which is approximately 20 minutes. So we do have a good amount of time. We have already received a number of questions. So welcoming our panelists back on screen. We're going to get to as many questions as we can. And again, we also have some staff working behind the scenes, responding to your questions, any personal questions that you have regarding any of these different areas. So with that, I'd like to start off with the first question, which is actually for Kristen and Jose. This question is regarding the Center for Student Involvement. Can you emphasize why it is important for students to get involved on campus?
Thanks, Timothy. Definitely. So it's so important for you to get involved outside of the classroom, because that's how you're going to really get connected to the university. That's where you're going to find more belonging in terms of finding students with similar interests to you and finding passion and connection to the university. Jose, what do you think about getting involved at UCSD and why it's important?
It is very important, I feel like, for me personally. Got my 4 years at UC San Diego. If it wasn't for the student organizations and getting involved on campus, I probably would not be where I'm at in this stage of my life. They were the ones that kept me motivated. They were there to support me whenever I needed help. And it really comes to show that if you build a community and get involved, basic things come your way. I made a lot of good lifelong friends along the way, joining these student organizations and getting involved.
Excellent. Very, very helpful. Our next question is for Camila. So Camila, the question is, what advice do you have for students who want to get involved and build community?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. I would say to just go for it. If there's like a place that you're really interested in, just start off with like going into the space, familiarizing yourself. For example, the Women's Center, I just like kind of went in. I always knew that I wanted to be involved. I will mention I was a commuter student, so it was really nice kind of having like a community that I felt on campus. There is a lot more than just like interning, you know, and like having coworkers. Just like being in the space, you're always going to see familiar faces. I was involved in the Voices leadership program, so it was very nice kind of like as a freshman, like I don't know how to, you know, navigate these centers. So most of the centers kind of have small little programs that introduce you to who they are without really committing to a job or committing to a certain time commitment. So that was an example that I experienced, and it was really helpful because it kind of funneled me into like an internship program that I really was really enriching for me, just because I made friends from interning there to just learning a lot. And yeah, I would say just participate, find little ways. I know it could be like really like scary to like go in and like try to like be involved in places and stuff, but I just say go for it. I was also involved in another organization, and that was really just like throwing myself into it and really trying. And yeah, I would just say find as many opportunities and really take advantage of them. I remember once we went online as a student, I was like, wow, I miss like just being in all these physical spaces and really like taking advantage of it.
Great, thank you so much, Camila. This next question is for Jay. Jay, nice to see you, by the way. Jay, why is it important for students to study abroad?
Great to see you, Timothy. Sorry, I'm frantically writing answers to questions. And so why is it important? You know, that's a great question. And, you know, I think many students have different reasons, but the ones that we hear a lot about, and when we talk to people who've already gone to college and they find out that I work and study abroad, they always tell me two things. Either they say, man, study abroad, I wish I'd done that when I went to college. Or, man, I did study abroad and it was the best part of going to college. It was one of their highlights. And why it's so important is that, you know, we live and work in an increasingly global society. And if you can show that you had a hands-on experience globally and was able to do cross-cultural engagement, was able to do all of that stuff, that's going to look really great to a graduate school, to a medical school application, to future endeavors. And you know, we are doing more and more interning. We're doing more research, experiential learning abroad. We work with fantastic partners, world-ranked universities, Europe, Asia, all throughout the world. And so, you know, a lot of students come to us because they realize that would look really, really good on the resume. And of course, when you talk to a student on the real, they'll tell you it's the most fun they ever had. I mean, how could you not have fun, right? And so definitely each student has their own reasons, but I haven't heard a reason why you wouldn't want to do it. And so we're hoping to get back out there. I know the pandemic kind of set us off kilter for a bit. We were doing a lot of virtual programming, but we're getting a lot of interest from students to kind of get back out there.
Great, thank you, Jay. We're really excited about Study Abroad program as well. You know, this next question is about Triton Spirit. So I'd like to ask our Triton Spirit partners, what is it really like participating in Triton Spirit? For example, attending games as a student fan. What's that experience like?
Honestly, it's really fun and it's a great way to like de-stress from classes. I'm like disappearing, I'm so sorry. But attending games is just like a good way to distress, like I said earlier, and it really doesn't take anything off from your studying time. So you can still get your homework in and study and still have a game or two to attend throughout the week.
And also at most of our games, we do free giveaways and we have competitions, and there's usually a way that you can finesse a free t-shirt out of any game that you go to or something of the sort. So there's always a lot of fun and excitement when it comes to athletics.
Great answer. Thank you very much. You know, the next question that's come in is actually for our Triton Transfer Hub partners, Ariana and Alo. Can you actually, we have students that are asking for transfer students. Can you provide specific advice for transfer students who want to get involved on campus?
Yeah, thank you, Timothy. What I would recommend for transfer students is to get involved early, because as transfer students, we get very minimal time. We get about 2 years, you know, to accomplish what students are doing in 4 years. So I would say reach out to staff and faculty if anything interests you, You could get an on-campus job to find that community and that experience as well. You can join clubs and organizations that, focus on academics or social aspect or even fitness, right? And lastly, I would say get involved in research, right? Because UCSD has so many research opportunities. So just finding something that interests you, it's gonna really build up your resume and your experience overall at UCSD.
Thanks, Ella. This next question that comes in is from an international student, actually, from international students. And so I'd like to ask our partners at ISPO, what advice do you have as international students make the transition to a new place like UC San Diego? How can they find a sense of community?
Yes, thank you for that question. This is David again, International Student Advisor. I actually help run a really great program every first quarter at fall and winter. It's called iThrive. You can find more information at iprograms.ucsd.edu, but it's a lunchtime series during 10 weeks where we're connecting international students with all the partners that are on call and other partners as well, together with small table conversations, reflecting, building community, talking through the experiences of going through the culture shock or just adapting to a new city or to university life. And then, as I said, we're not the only place that has a lot of programs for international students or even globally minded programs. I would really suggest you look at the International House. The International House is one of 10 international houses in the country. So we're lucky to be able to have one of those on campus, and they run a lot of different programs as well, building community, especially with undergraduate students. So there are quite a bit of ways to get involved. You just have to pick which one. So there is quite a bit on campus, but contact us if you're ever looking for any specific advice.
Great, thank you, David. And the next question we have is for you, Mari. Can you talk about the intramural sports and club sports experience? For instance, what's it like for student participants?
Yeah, of course. So for intramurals, the process goes, say you see that soccer and basketball are offered and you want to play soccer, you can either join in on our website. We have like a little portal where you can join in as an individual. So say you can't find, 2 other friends that want to play basketball with you, you could just go and join on a team that might be missing a participant. Or you can create a team of your friends. These games are usually once or twice a week and they're at different times. So you can pick, basketball at 5 p.m. at REMAC and you'll go and compete, and then there's playoffs at the end, and then, obviously a winner. So those are more just social fun leagues. We have students that are referees on those. And then we have the sports clubs. Again, I think I mentioned that every sports club is different. So I know like men's soccer is pretty competitive and they get a lot of people trying to play. So they do hold tryouts. And then, some teams will let you participate even if you have zero experience. So I know that like field hockey and some of the other teams let anyone come and kind of learn the sport as they go and feel comfortable. And all the sports have different requirements. So I really recommend going to the website under competitive sports. You can see sports clubs, and every single team has kind of, what their schedule is, who their president is. So you can talk to them directly and you can ask them those questions if you're interested. But again, we have teams that travel nationally. Most just travel within Southern California, but a lot travel nationally. We even had a team go to China 3 years ago internationally. So some of them can be really heavily time, it could be a big time commitment because you do need practices. And then maybe on the weekends, you might have, a tournament or something like that, and you're traveling with your team. But all those teams they're kind of like an organization. So they're all run, they have positions like secretary, president, vice president, marketing, those types of things. So they do vary, but I would say sports clubs for students are much more of a commitment, and intramural sports are kind of just a once or twice a week for an hour type of thing. And you're not practicing. So you're not going to practices, you're competing against your classmates, and you're just kind of doing it for fun to let out some steam. And it's not as big as a commitment.
Great, thanks, Mari. Thank you, students and attendees, for sending in your questions. We are going to try to get to as many questions as we can. So the next question is for you, Kristen, actually. It's regarding the Greek life. The question is, do a lot of students participate in the fraternities and sororities at UC San Diego?
That's a great question. Jose, I'm not quite sure if you know the percentage of students that are involved or the number of students we have right now.
Yeah, so we're at 6% of the student population.
6% of the people. Thanks, Jose. So yeah, there's a large number of students that do participate, but it's also not something you're interested in. There are so many other areas to get involved in within those 500 student organizations. But sorority and fraternity life definitely adds a vibrancy to our campus, and is a great way to make friends, stay academically focused, be involved in volunteer work and philanthropy as well.
Sounds like a great experience. This next question is for Jay. We're getting quite a few questions about study abroad. Do students have time to enjoy themselves, maybe explore the state or country that they're in when they're studying abroad?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's something that we really work a lot with students. You know, I actually, you know, full disclosure, I work primarily with engineering students to help them identify study abroad opportunities. And there's been more than one student who's come to me and says, oh, I want to do full classes and I want to do labs and I want to do this and this. And I remind the student, you know, a lot of the stuff you're going to learn on study abroad actually happens outside of the classroom, stuff that you don't even think about is learning, but, you know, negotiating the Tokyo subway or ordering that meal in Italian, you know, all of that is studying abroad. And so we really work with our students to create a balanced academic plan so that they're not stuck in class all the time when they're abroad. We want you to travel. We want you to explore the country you're in. That's the point. And so, you know, I was answering a question earlier from an engineering student, or I believe it was an engineering student asking, is it harder for some majors to go abroad than others? And to be real, yes, you know, some majors are in very tightly constricted majors, and it might be hard to go abroad during the year. That's why study abroad providers have really developed a lot of summer options. And so we have some really great options for students who might not be able to go during the year, but who could go perhaps during the summer. And so, yeah, fun is and should always be part of the equation when it comes to study abroad. Back to you, Timothy.
Thanks, Jay. So this next question is a great question. Maybe one or two of our students, Alo, maybe you'd be able to start off, but the question is, what does a typical day in the life of a UC San Diego student look like?
A typical day for me would usually be going to work right online. I work virtually with the Trident Transfer Hub. So I go to work for about 4 hours. And then after that, I like to get food at Six Market. Because since I'm living on campus right now, I like to go there and they have an amazing poke bowl. So I would really recommend that. And then there's a study area right there, right next to Six Market. So I usually stay there till like 8 p.m. just watching lecture, doing homework and things like that. And once I'm done doing that, I come home, shower, eat again, and then just go to sleep. So that's basically my routine during the work week. And on the weekends, I just like to go explore different parts of San Diego, maybe go on a new hike, go surfing, just go out with friends, things like that.
William and Elia, what do you say? What's a typical day like for you?
Yeah. A typical day for me would just be going to class, and then around the afternoon, I'll have office hours for my TA position. And then I'm going to a couple of meetings for some of the orgs I'm in, and just going to Geisel and unwinding and studying with my friends and going home.
A typical day for me is I'll usually wake up and I will go to REMAC. And then after I go to REMAC, I'll have whatever morning or afternoon classes I have, go to the dining hall and walking back to my dorm back when I used to live on campus. And then just doing some homework and then going to classes. And then when it gets to the late evening, I usually try and watch the sunset as much as I can every single day. And so just going out with friends, walking to Gliderport or doing something like that, just to make sure that I'm enjoying the beautiful nature of San Diego.
Jose, do you want to take a stab at that question?
So for me, pre-COVID, I would take the bus, catch the bus early in the morning to beat everybody else, because surprisingly, there's a lot of people at 8 in the morning at the bus stop. So I would go to the bus, get to campus, go to work for like a good 3 to 4 hours, and then go to class. And then the rest of my day just consisted of a bunch of meetings because I was actively involved on campus within my sorority fraternity life community. So I had back-to-back meetings as president for my chapter and as a council president. And then work meetings as well. And then I would spend the rest of the night at Geisel until probably like 12 in the morning and then go home.
Thank you. So basically, there is no typical day for really anybody. It really varies depending on what you're involved in. Lots of exciting things happening during normal times. And then, of course, this coming year, we're really expecting all of our students to be back on campus in the fall. And for all of you who will be applying for next year, you're looking at the next cycle. So we're really excited about welcoming our students back to campus. With that, we've actually just about run out of time. And so we want to make sure that we get everybody who's going to be attending our 5 o'clock session enough time to be able to take a break and to maybe get a drink of water or whatever the case might be before that next session. So I do want to thank all of our campus partners, of course. Thank you to our community of staff and students for sharing more about getting involved and building community at UC San Diego. We really appreciate your time. If any of you have follow-up questions or